Hi, it's Hazel and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a slightly different video. It's a restock video and it's a bonus video in that it's in addition to the 7 days a week videos that I do already. And I just thought it might be the most efficient way to let you know what I have for sale. And I really don't want to turn this into a high pressure sales pitch, sort of that used car salesman type approach. But I do want you, especially since I'm experimenting with different selling platforms, I do want you to know what I have recently listed. So of course, like most or many people, I have an Etsy shop. And, there are some definite advantages. There are definitely some drawbacks. And, excuse me, it is gigantic, which I guess, is a double-edged sword. Huge market, huge name recognition, huge competition, huge and multi-layered fees. So I noticed that a lot of makers were, and I mean some of the big girls out there in the world, were switching to coffee shops. So I, of course, never the first one out of the starting block, opened my coffee shop. And I did a launch video not that long ago. I have to say though, and part of what I did there, and of course, it's not fully populated yet. That is an ongoing process. But I guess what I like about it is that the fee structure is a heck of a lot better. There's the ability to do digital and physical items. There's the ability to do freebies. Like, I don't have a blog or a website, and nor do I want any of those things. So if I want to share some freebies with you, that is pretty well the only way to do it. I'm not going to do a newsletter. I'm not going to do, all those other things. So that's the appeal there. Maker's Market is the brainchild of Angela, the traveling crafter. And I feel a kinship to her and her. I think that I'm one of Angela's angels, because I like alliteration, and of course, a lot of us are angelic. As far as I know, the only Canadian seller on that platform, it is, and I know there are growing pains, but there is, some stuff that needs to happen to make it easier for me and easier for you as a potential, for instance, Canadian customer. So that's a lot of blathering to say, if you're interested in seeing what I'm adding to my shop, the best way, I guess, in every situation is to become a follower, and then you're notified of new additions. I would also say that because on the Maker's Market, I have to list in U.S. prices. I'm always having to do sort of the conversion the day of the listing and so on, and then the U.S. postage again, and I have to do all that math. So, not the greatest option. So I think, a word to the wise, if you are thinking about buying something, maybe check out the different platforms. You may find that there are slight price differences, or there are slight advantages, particularly if you're Canadian. Like on some items, you're going to find that there's free shipping. So again, I know it's a bit complicated, but I think that for some of the things I'm offering, that it may be worth doing that little bit of extra legwork. And now I do seem to be on a bit of a roll and looking at things with new eyes, thinking, well, okay, maybe someone wants this. Anyway, enough talking. Let's do some showing. So I have had napkin bundles on my Etsy shop for ages. And I've tended to theme them by either color or, you know, theme like nature. I'm going to show you a couple, but again, they're now listed in 3 places, so theoretically you could find them anywhere. So this I think I called my blue green bundle. You may recognize that one. I used it on one of my journal covers, tree journal covers. So there are a lot of things, you know, a lot of options in terms of, you know, I love stuff like this. I love stuff like this. I love this one because of the gradations of color. So, you know, and there's a butterfly. So it's a variety of things that are very graphic and bold, things that are more pastel. And I love this one. I've used it repeatedly. Now, oh, this is my sample one. This has been, I love this. It looks like linen. So it seems to, it seems that if you, and I guess I put it in this bundle because of the background color. This one is cute. This one has poppies. Love poppies. Anyway, what I'm trying to spit out here, hydrangeas, love hydrangeas, is that there's enough variety. If you don't have your own stash of napkins, or you don't want to buy 30 and 40 count packages of napkins, this may be a good way to start your own collection. See if you like them. See if you even like working with napkins. Now, this video will probably appear before one that I just did on napkins. So, you know, keep an eye peeled for that. There are ways to make them more user-friendly in terms of not as messy. I'll show you, well, maybe I'll show you this one too. This, I think, is right up my alley. Go figure. And it is, oh, I got too many here. Boy, I should have figured this out before I, okay. So this one, I think, is right up the alley of anyone who loves boho, who loves rich, saturated colors, who loves, like I do, loves the intricacy of paisley and other designs like that. And again, you can see that the napkins are all sizes, from these sort of cocktail napkins to, you know, these luncheon napkins. Again, paisley. This reminds me of crewel needlework. Anyway, so that's that. I probably shouldn't, I won't bother showing you any more napkins because, I mean, you're capable of finding them. And I can't remember how many different bundles I have, but anyway, let me put that aside and get on with things. So just today, I listed some other items that I have, that I made, well, a number of years ago, and want to make available to you. And they are these handmade fabric necklaces. Now, obviously, you have to be, this has to be up your alley. I think, and obviously one of the reasons that I pursued this, doing this, is I have a lot of fabric. I'm also allergic to or sensitive to costume jewelry. So with something like this, it's totally non-allergenic. It's also adjustable in that, oh, I should have brought my little necklace form here. Anyway, you would tie it around your neck, obviously, and depending on the size of your neck and the size of this necklace, it may end up being, and your preference, of course, it may end up being kind of more like a choker. For other people, it will be longer. So there are these blue-gray ones. These are the only ones where I have more than one off the design. This is a neutral, sort of tan, beige, and black. This one is really cute for people who love earth tones, oranges, browns, tans. I love this one because it just speaks to me about, it's a dainty little print that sort of, it looks old to me, and it is old. Some of this fabric, okay, this one in particular, I had this fabric. Should I tell you the background story on it? This fabric, and you can see what it looks like. So it's these stripes. This was from the 80s. And of course, when I find something I like, well, I'm smarter now, thank God. But back in the day, if I saw something I liked, I would buy a lot of it. Because, you never know what you might want to do with the extra. So I had three windows in my kitchen. And this fabric was made into a valance for each of those windows. And that was, of course, back in the day when valances were a thing. But of course, I had yards and yards and yards of it left. So again, same essentially color family. But that's vintage. Even though the fabric is brand new, it's been around since the 80s. I'll show you a few more. I'll show them to you all. I love, now green is not really my thing, but I love this because it is sort of iridescent. And I think this would have been one of the fabrics that we considered for my daughter's high school grad dress. I think she settled on something different, but that's definitely her color scheme. And then here, kind of a related thing, blue, green, and white. I love this one, again, because of the intricacy of the design. Well, I'll show you on the solid part. The intricacy of the design. So it's red, cream, teal, and white. This one is a great one for people who sort of love that teal, blue, earth tones combination. Some of these fabrics, like this one is fairly thick, so the knot is going to be thicker, obviously, than something that is more drapey and silky, like those two. Okay, last two. This is another vintage fabric, and you can imagine that I like this because it has paisley. It's probably reading mostly blue-green here, but there is some maroon in there as well. I also had a curtain and a bed skirt out of this. And the final one is this one. Again, similar colors to this one. In fact, you know what? It is the same color scheme, except a different part of this was one of those things with a very, panel type pattern to it. So same color, but look how differently they read depending on which parts of the design are isolated. So these are now listed as we speak in my coffee shop. And by the time you see this, they will also be listed on the Maker's Market. They are not on Etsy. I also, back, a long time ago, let me see if this looks familiar to you. Kind of my channel tagline in a sense. A creative mess is better than tidy idleness. I don't say that often enough, but I truly believe it, and I think most of us are living it. Anyway, I guess this doesn't show up that well on the fabric there, but okay, this is modeled after a carpenter's apron. So it's got a self-tie tie it around your waist, and it's got 3 really good sized pockets. In some of the photos, I kind of just staged it with some items in there to show you how much it can hold. And of course, this, I think, it's a heavyweight, 100% cotton. Oh, and I decorated all of them. I only have 4 total. I decorated all of them with dimensional fabric paint. And, that's probably acrylic, because watercolor would wash off. So it's acrylic. I did these years ago. I may have more of these plain aprons, but so far it's eluded me as to where they might be. Anyway, here is another one. This one says bits and pieces, thingamajigs, odds and ends. And of course, I feel that these would be handy for artists, crafters, people who sew, people even in the garden, to be honest. And of course, they are washable. This one, and again, I'm not about bashing men at all, but I also believe in, speaking the truth. And honestly, sometimes the best man for a job is a woman. And so this one is, gold and purple and black. And then this may be my favorite one. I considered hanging on to it for myself, but then I thought, well, maybe one of you would love it more. So same thing, a creative mess. It's got more colors going on, and it's cute. Anyway, maybe I will just lay out some napkins as I just wind up here. This is my Pretty in Pink bundle. Again, you can, if you know me at all, you know that these are the sorts of things, the kinds of designs I love. I love this one so much. I've used it on a number of tags and so on. And of course, a lot of these things I have done, and you've never seen them because I didn't put them on a video yet. Or, did them a couple of years ago. I used this one in a recent video. Here's this. There's this with sort of a barn board look at the back. This one is cool because it also has those polka dots that a person could use. Oh, I used a piece of this in a recent video. This one is different in that it's very geometric and it's easy to isolate certain designs if you want them. This one is great for doing corners, like if you just wanted to do a corner of a page. And of course, you've got the added bonus of, some birds and some butterflies. Again, the gradations of color here is what I love. This is an all-out floral, and these are more geometric. And I'll just show you the final bundle, and then I'll talk about freebies. This is probably my floral bundle, I guess. Self-evident. I love this one because I love lilacs. Did you know that when you cut lilacs, you're supposed to smash the end of the stem with a hammer to break up that woody stem so that it, the water uptake is a little better. However, I think most of us have learned that lilacs are probably best enjoyed on the shrub because they certainly don't last very well in a vase. But this is, that speaks to me. And I love this one. For a while, I had quite a thriving succulent collection. And of course, I like this because of some of these purples and blues and so on. And so easy to fussy tear around them and use this. I've used this one a lot as well. Here's an overall floral. This one I think is fairly vintage. I bought the package at a yard sale or something. So, sweet muted colors, sort of a wreath form. And again, easy to get 4 different projects out of that. This one is really great for people who love that botanic look. Again, all 4 panels are, repeat. And again, fussy tear, soft blue background. So it's really, really nice. This one I used in a video recently too for my blush journal. That is a rose and buds. This one is the other style, the tall style. So, and of course, who doesn't love, the addition of script in the background? Because then you don't have to stamp. And we love to save effort when we can. This is another really pretty one for people who are maybe just doing like a fern journal or just want a really kind of dainty background. I love this one. I was kind of hoarding this for the longest time. So those are some sort of blossoms, and you can see that it's like, well, it's essentially 6 different panels here. But, I mean, well, either you like it or you don't. Clearly, I like it. This one is kind of cool because it looks like the plants are growing, kind of like they would in a garden, in a row. Again, simple enough shapes that you could fussy cut or fussy tear around them. And again, cool, saturated colors. Of course, love daylilies. I have a number of them myself growing in the garden. And, well, I don't need to tell you about purple. Oh, maybe I should stop opening them up. There's this one, which again, a lot of people like that blue pink color scheme. This one is different. Very pretty as well. This one for people who like sort of those parrot tulips. It's a good color combo, basically shades of all the primaries. This one has sort of a watercolory look to it. This one is very nice because it has the dark background and the hot pink scalloped edge, butterflies and stems of flowers. This one is a stylized poppy. So if you need a splash of red. And then this one is, has, dill and rosemary and lavender and those sorts of things on it. Anyway, enough about that. Okay, so I've said that, I can't remember, did I say that I do have a membership-based thing happening on my coffee site, and it is called Words and Pictures. So essentially, for people who sign up as monthly members, you pay a flat rate fee. And of course, because it's just the first month, there's just the 2 pages. But as the access to files will accumulate as time goes on and as I keep adding. So I'm already working on February's design. I have something, I think, already pre-selected and ready to go. So there is the pictures part of it is either going to be my own photography and maybe some things that you aren't able to photograph yourself. I don't know. I guess it depends who you are and where you live. Or a digitized version of some of my own original art, and that could be watercolor, acrylic painting, doodles, you name it. And then the words part, of course, are a number of words, quotes or scripture or motivational, inspirational kind of rah, you can do it, of affirmation type things. And they tend to be in different sizes and different fonts and so on. Some are in text boxes and some are not. Anyway, so, you might want to consider that, especially if you want access to some original art and can't afford the real thing. Sorry, I needed to wet my whistle. Anyway, so far I've only uploaded 2 freebies, but I really hope that you seek that out, especially if you are new to this game. When I first started, I would watch videos and I think, oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. And if somebody brought out some used ledger and was doing something, I just about died. I have to say that I have a soft spot for Lorna Taylor. She lives about an hour or so away from me. Hers was the very first journal I bought. And again, this is, going on 4 years ago. So kind of a plain Jane one. It was a Reader's Digest one. Anyway, because I'm fairly cheap, I reached out to her and I said, can I just pick it up? Because I wanted to save the $20 on shipping. So that's how we met. And it was in the thick of COVID. I mean, not when we were really, really, really locked down, but we met on her, in her backyard, on her deck. And, what I discovered then, and I've rediscovered since then, is that people tend to be very generous. People in this business would never think of meeting up and not giving somebody something. I, of course, didn't know that in the beginning, but she gave me my very first ledger pages. I thought, oh my goodness. So thanks, Lorna. And of course, I've acquired some of my own since then, but it just seemed like, unicorns and hen's teeth. Where do you find this stuff? So every time anybody in a YouTube video mentioned freebies or sources for copyright-free images or, sign up for a newsletter, I watched a lot of Pam at the Paper Outpost, so she does a monthly newsletter and there's always a freebie included. And after a while, as you acquire your own things, you begin to realize that the world is inundated with free stuff. That doesn't stop all of us from wanting to buy stuff, though. Anyway, if you're in the boat where you don't have anything really to access yet as a freebie, I want to help enable you. So this is foreign language. I cannot remember what the language is, but this is just the atlas itself is huge. I think it was 1906 or something, and I thought, depending on what a person is doing, this may be a perfect page to either add some interest, to add the foreign language component, to add the color component, because of course not every atlas page is as beautiful. And because of the natural foxing and so on, it would also be totally at home in a grungy journal as well. So that was the first freebie I put on, and then today I just added another one. You know how everyone gushes about the nice penmanship that they see everywhere? Well, look at this. In 1919 and in 1922, Ruth got 2 certificates of proficiency in penmanship. So you might need this. Now, you know, they were such that I just put them that way. They could become a full signature page. They could be collage fodder. They could just be something to, you know, separate, grunge up a little more, and put into a pocket or something like that. So I just wanted to draw this to your attention, and again, suggest gently that if you become a follower, you will be notified when freebies are added. I don't want to tie myself in or put myself into a box of saying, well, every Monday morning there will be a freebie, because I don't, you know, like, hey, I'm a free spirit, baby. I'll do it when I do it. And if you get notified, then you'll know when I do it, is what it boils down to. Anyway, thanks, guys. I just wanted to draw your attention to some of these recent changes that I've made. And yeah, we will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for joining me. You mean the world to me. Bye.